So I'm in G Drive and I'm in my Stockport Learning Works account. I just want to look at a couple of features of G Drive. I'm just going to go into my drive on the left hand side there. If I open this up, you'll see it will give me a list of the folders that I've created. So one way of structuring the content of your drive is to create folders. So you can just go to new, the first thing that comes up is folder, create a folder and add the content to that folder. So you can find that with a little bit more ease. So that's one way of doing that, controlling, organizing your information in Google Drive. Let's just close that drive down. You'll also see some machine learning going on where it suggests a couple of recent documents to me, and then beneath that my folders, and beneath that my files, and that's all in a view there, which is, I always say it's a little bit more icon based. It's not called icon based. I'll tell you what it's called in a second. If I just go to this icon, I can change this to list view, and then that will list everything that's in my Google Drive. And I could look at last modified to try and find the most recent files I've been working on. So I'm going to go back to, I think it's grid. Yes, grid view. So I'm going to put that back into grid view. The other way we can search for and find out about files in Google Drive is this view details icon. So let's click on that. If I select a file, it will show me the details of that file, but I'm just going to click on activity first, and it will show me the recent activity. So this will be files that I've edited, or files that have been shared with me, or something that's been edited in a shared drive, let's say. So we'll get recent information there of what's been taking place. And if I click an actual document, let's try and click, let's just move down, sorry. Let's just click on this. There we go. So that's just using details there, and that will give you some properties of the document that you've selected. So you can see there its location. So if it's in a shared drive, it will show you the location of that particular file, file size, and then some default properties that are available to you. I can see as well that it's not shared, so I know that no one else can see this file, and it's just sitting in my drive. So we're dealing with files that are in my drive or your drive, and ways that you can just quickly locate them there. The other way, which works for shared drives as well, and probably is the easiest way to find information or files inside of Google Drive, and that is to go into the search bar there and name all your files with quite long descriptive titles. So if the file it's a little bit onerous to begin with, but if you put enough detail in the title of your files, it makes it a lot easier to find them in G Drive, especially if they're shared. So it might be that you give it a topic name, you might give that a level, you might give it could be the class name. So your let's say it was a Google Docs, so it'd been the file had been saved, and the title was quite descriptive, and that means that you can start to search in that way. So I can search for EDS, that comes up with. Again, I've not got much in terms of files inside here at the moment, but normally you can sort of go, one of the words that is in there, another one. So if I'm putting EDS and framework and then it return, that comes back as the first document there, which has got those words in its title. So just use that as a way of maybe moving forward, giving your files quite descriptive names. And this is really going to be helpful when we come to shared drives. So at the moment, I only have 2 shared drives, one that's called test with nothing in there, and a volunteer one as well. but I think most of you will have shared drives with quite a volume of files in there. And the only real way when you get a shared drive to organize the content is use a folder structure and use quite descriptive titles for your files that are inside there. So that's the top tip from Dave, is descriptive file names. And again, if I go to shared with me, that's where we probably see the most in terms of volume. That this can be extremely large when you start becoming a member of several shared drives, and people are sharing individual files with you as well. So you'll see that we can search through there via the date, the name, and a couple of options that are available. And normally we'll see the first one is yesterday, then it's last week and last month, and then it moves on from there. So when we're searching shared with me, I'd go in here, start to type in, and it's going to be a lot easier if the file has got a title that enables me to search for it inside of Google Drive. So there we go. Just a couple of tips there inside of G Drive.